Oh, man. That's the loudest I've ever cheered for a Leon Draisaitl goal. You know? Like, it literally only has to do with fantasy hockey. It's such a tight matchup I'm in this week. And I got Draisaitl and Nugent-Hopkins and Bouchard, and I was like, I need points! Come on, guys! Raymond, DeBrincat, Kane, and Bolduc already did their part. Just get me a Draisaitl goal. So when McDavid sent it up, and Draisaitl backhanded it through Quinn Hughes and into the empty net, I literally screamed. I'm a bad Canucks fan, man. Maybe I'm just trying to cope, because admittedly, that game wasn't great. The Vancouver Canucks have lost 3-1 to the Edmonton Oilers in Edmonton, evening up their record at 1 win and 1 loss. But I will say, even though this game was a loss, even though, on paper, it looks pretty bad, I honestly would argue the contrary. Now, what exactly am I referring to on paper? Well, on paper, the Vancouver Canucks only had 15 shots on goal on Calvin Pickard. That's not ideal. You saw this happen 2 years ago in the playoffs, or not 2 years ago, last year, 2 seasons ago, excuse me. In the playoffs, Vancouver, for some reason, they just couldn't get shots towards the goal, and especially against Calvin Pickard, it seemed like they were allergic to doing so. You can say that from an on-paper statistical standpoint, this game was quite similar to all the Rick Tocchet games we've been complaining about the past few years. But honestly, I would argue the opposite. Here's a tweet from Sapster that I thought was really smart in the way that it analyzes the Canucks. You can tell the Vancouver Canucks are trying to chain plays together, but they just aren't connecting. They're stopping up too much and killing their momentum. I prefer that to low-danger nonsense. Just gotta hope these are growing pains. And that is a very, very intriguing comment to make. Because I do think that the Canucks of this year have displayed very different strategies and motivations compared to the Rick Tocchet-styled Canucks of the past few years. Less dump and chase, less low-event hockey, less just feeding it back over to the point and trying to force a shot through 3 guys, and more creativity, more pace. Vancouver didn't look great in this game, and they, admittedly, didn't really do too well, but you can see that they were trying to do something that they didn't normally try last year. More creativity on the rush and trying to set things up, but they just kind of failed from a performance standpoint. The guys that were trying to make the plays didn't receive the puck correctly, or they didn't make the pass right. These ideas that they've got, honestly, are a breath of fresh air. It's just, you don't see them connecting as much as they should have at the National Hockey League level in tonight's game. Which is why I can be a little bit more forgiving on this one compared to some of the losses we had seen last year. Even though on paper the shots on goal were the same symptoms were there. Hey, the Canucks refused to shoot a lot on a backup goaltender. Why are they not taking advantage of this opportunity? Also the fact that they literally have another professional hockey team on the other side trying to combat everything that they do. Edmonton played pretty well today. They had to step up on most of the plays that Vancouver was trying to do, and they caused some disruption there. Not to mention just the danger that Edmonton has on the power play, which is totally Vancouver's fault. The Oilers had so many power plays in this hockey game, and it's not something I'm going to sit here and blame the refs for. It's like, Filipino, what are you doing? Myers, what are you doing? Kane, what are you doing? Like, you're playing against McDavid and Draisaitl. You can't go out there and continuously give them power plays. Speaking about Kane, we can segue into him a little bit as well, because he did take 2 penalties in this contest. Unsportsmanlike against Darnell Nurse in the second, and high-sticking against David Tomaszek in the first. However, everybody's going to be looking at Kane because of the big body hit that he delivered to, Regula? In the third period with a few minutes to go, which incited a response and inevitably a power play for Vancouver in the third period with a chance to tie the game. Big body hit, Evander Kane really going in there and laying the physical boom boom. this is the value that he brings. When he wants to, he will get involved and be such a menace out there on the ice. You also had Tyler Myers totally laying out Trent Frederic, I believe it was, in the Vancouver zone. I mean, Myers can totally destroy somebody as well if he chooses to. He's like Galactus, the destroyer of worlds, the devourer of the cosmos. Myers can just do that, and that was maybe the biggest hit we have seen in years in a Vancouver Canucks sweater. Gotta call Nikita Zadorov to get a few of those other ones in there. But continuing on, let's actually talk about the goals that were scored. Scoring started in the second period after the halfway point of the game, when Demko, up until this point, had made so many magnificent, game-stopping, MVP-caliber saves, cross-creases, and rebounds with his stick and with his glove. Thatcher Demko was incredible. The positioning that this guy has, the poise and the athleticism, it's just all there. But the first goal to beat him is scored by Noah Philp in the second period with about 8 minutes to go here. It's a rush that streaks right down the middle. Philp receives the pass as he cuts towards the goal, and he just kind of fires it by. Pretty innocuous rush compared to the saves that Thatcher Demko was making earlier, but this one beats him. It's assisted by Kasperi Kapanen and Vasily Podkolzin. And that stands as the 1-0 goal until 1 minute left in the second period, where Andrew Mangiapane ends up scoring off of a brutal turnover. Filipino trying to play the puck up ice. It's intercepted by Mangiapane, who spins, drags, and shoots. He beats Demko clean, but this is one of these plays where it's like, Filipino, man, you cannot cough the puck up the middle like that. This turnover, combined with the very ill-timed third period penalty that he had, the trip against Trent Frederic, put him in a negative zone compared to what we saw last game. We know the talent is there. When he's on, but these decisions and these plays need to definitely be ironed out and removed as quickly as possible. In the third period, all it takes is 47 seconds for Quinn Hughes to rove to the top of the umbrella, feed over to the right side, chuck it in front for Brock Boeser, who then spins with a shot and finds the back of the net. Beautiful play there by Brock. It's his second of the season and Vancouver's only goal on the game. Assisted by Quinn Hughes and Jake DeBrusk, which of course puts Quinn Hughes at number 1 in Vancouver Canucks defenseman scoring history over Alex Edler. It's kind of funny because, the Vancouver Canucks were able to score 5 goals on opening night against the Calgary Flames, but Quinn Hughes didn't get a point. He still was tied with Edler at the end of everything, so that, of course, was quite the shock. But Quinn gets himself an assist here in this hockey game, and it puts him up to number 1. Congratulations, Quinn Hughes. You could definitely tell towards the end there that he was getting really pissed off with the results of the game. Quinn normally would take his time and evaluate and try to make the best choice, but towards the end there, he was just throwing the puck, slap-shotting it down like nobody's business towards the goal. I love it when Quinn Hughes gets a little bit reckless, but at the same time, I'm kind of scared of what he's capable of doing when he gets into that state of mind. The fact that he chopped his stick on the net and broke it after the Draisaitl empty netter was scored, it's like, yeah, this guy is definitely ticked off and upset with his team's performance. His teams, maybe himself, who really knows? But with all that in mind, I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about this Vancouver and Edmonton game over here? Oilers win 3-1. And Vancouver is tied up here 1-1 in their regular season ranking. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit the like button. If you did not, the dislike button's down there for you too. Comments help out with the algorithm, so I'd appreciate it if you got involved there. Let me know in the comment section all your opinions about this game. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.